Everyone wants to talk about decentralization, but when you have these platforms that are telling people from certain countries that they can't create, that's not decentralization at all. That's politics, right? My name is Ithra Rivera. I'm from Harrison, New Jersey, and you guys know me as Roving Rivera. I'm a travel photographer. I've been to 45 countries, and I basically rove around the globe. Back in 2007, I would say it was like my first time actually outside of the country. I went to Italy, and it was a study abroad program that I did while I was in university, and that really kind of triggered my travel bug. I started taking photos just for personal memories, collecting personal memories and showing my friends and showing my family what I was doing. And that kind of just started to continue on. I ended up doing like 3 study abroads while I was in university. I went to Croatia, Mexico, and Italy, and then started to branch off from there. I would say after university, I knew I wanted to go abroad as like a professional career somehow. So I focused on, international studies while I was in university. Back in 2012 was when I moved to Spain. I was in Barcelona, and I moved there to teach English. And I stayed there for about a year, did my TEFL there, and that opened up a whole bunch of opportunities for me to teach English abroad. So I continued doing that. I ended up going to South Korea. I ended up staying there for 4 years. And then in between those 4 years, I went to Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, to do a master's at Chulalongkorn University in a master's of public health. And then after, my 4-year stint in Korea, I ended up going to China. I was in Beijing for 4 years, and that was my last teaching opportunity. Back in 2021, August was when I came back to the United States. Just kind of take a break. COVID had happened, so I wanted to take a break from that. People always ask me, like, when are you to come back and settle down? And I always say, like, why would I even do that? Like, I'm having such a good time traveling the world, seeing different cultures and meeting new people, and going to like Borneo and meeting up with tribe leaders and becoming an honorary tribe leader. It's just something you can't really explain to other people. It's definitely a lifestyle that's not for everyone. When I was in Asia, I was teaching English, and I actually implemented a photography program after school, teaching kids how to use a camera, teaching kids how to edit, and I was doing that, and it was the first time they had that in the school, which was really fun. And then I just started to meet people in Beijing that had bars or they had clubs, and I would go to them and I'd say, listen, man, I have a lot of work. I've been a photographer for a while now. I have some work. Would you mind if I, use your bar as an exhibition? We can have an event. And they were all about it. So I started to present my work, started selling my work in Beijing. That was the first time I started to actually sell my work. And from there on, I kind of realized that I can, sell my photos and sell my work. So yeah, that was a fun thing to experience. I've been in crypto for about, since 2014, I've been in crypto. And my friend was like, listen, you have some really good work. You have a really good Instagram following. You should look into NFTs. And I already knew what NFTs were from being in crypto, but I didn't understand how I can implement photography into it. I've never been into the gallery scene. It wasn't my thing. I was doing the exhibitions. But I do see NFTs as a way to transition artists into galleries in an easier way. You can do it in the metaverse. You can do it in, these spatial galleries that they have. And you can really focus on artists helping out other artists and building a community. But I mean building a community in the sense that you have artists helping other artists be seen and heard, because we've never had the opportunity to be seen on a massive scale like we do now with NFTs. And I just think we have to take advantage of that opportunity. Right now I'm actually doing spatial galleries for artists, and it's something that I enjoy doing. I do it on my own accord, but I feel like that's what I came into NFTs for, to do. It's just been a really fun adventure, kind of like, I don't want to say I'm a curator at all, but it's fun kind of curating artists and being in a community now that appreciates what you're doing. So if we can do that on a massive level and being consistent and have consistency with that, I think, a way to get into galleries for artists that have never been able to be in galleries, NFTs and the metaverse will give that opportunity to a lot of people.
It is 5:45 a.m. and I am just awake to do a morning river cruise. I am really tired. I really don't want to be up right now, but hopefully we'll get to see some cool wildlife on the way.
Everyone wants to talk about decentralization, but when you have these platforms that are telling people from certain countries that they can't create, that's not decentralization at all. That's politics, right? And we as artists need to come together and protect one another and say, hey, if you're not going to allow artists to create, we're not going to use your platform. And I just feel like a lot of people have lost that. This isn't only about art. This is about decentralizing healthcare reform, data reform. And I just feel like a lot of artists have gotten scared to be platformed themselves. So we have to take back what we were trying to create in the first place. This is where government does not exist. This is what the internet was supposed to be. And it got corrupted, and now we got to try again for a third time, and hopefully third time's a charm. The photo that I took was on the Brooklyn Bridge, and most people take photos of the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it's an iconic New York landmark. But it snowed that day, and I felt like this was the best opportunity for me to get a really good picture of the Brooklyn Bridge on a day that normally people don't really take photos of it. So I went to New York, and I was standing on the bridge, and there was absolutely no one there. And it was snowing, and I had time to reflect on the 10 years that I had been abroad. And it was just a beautiful experience of just like snowflakes and cold and brisk and being alone. So I ended up just like kind of standing there and reflecting basically on all of my experiences abroad, literally being on that bridge 10 years later, being home. And I saw one guy actually ended up on the bridge as well, and he was walking, and I took the photo of him by himself, dead center on the Brooklyn Bridge, American flag up on the top, blowing in the wind. snowflakes hitting me, and I just felt like all those snowflakes were just kind of like individual memories from my 10 years abroad. And I basically named that piece Flurried Recollections. And NFTNYC started in June, and I happened to just have that photo, and Life magazine had an open call for photos that remind you of home or represent home. So for me, home is New York, New Jersey. I have come full circle, and I submitted that photo. And 3 days later, after submitting that photo, I was chosen one of 8 photographers to be chosen out of hundreds to be an NFTNYC Life magazine known origin event. And it just kind of gave me that motivation to keep going and keep traveling and just to keep doing what I'm doing and what I love. And it made me want to continue to travel, gain more memories, all those recollections, and it was just a fantastic opportunity and something I'll never forget.